Mhm. Okay,
Hello, good morning.
yeah, good morning. Yeah. She's joining us from Germany. And then next is our Mr. Gupta, right? Anirban Gupta. Acha. Then for your information, the lady sitting on my left, she's OV. She's their DHRIITI representative here, and then she's doing all the contacts, and then the follow up. So her name is OV. So I think we can start. Yeah.
Ovi, how do you want to do this? I know that you sent out an agenda. So we're getting a lot of audio feedback from your end. If you could mute yourself, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you everyone for making time. This is a great occasion. I say this because we started this conversation quite some time ago, and through the pandemic, through virtual meetings, in the absence of being able to physically come there and meet everyone, I think we have made remarkable progress in our conversations over the last few months. So I'm very pleased to be here. My name is Ullas Mara. I am a technical advisor with GIZ India. I work for a project called Project Karan now, which focuses on empowering women entrepreneurs in the smaller cities of India. And one of the most strategic areas for us was the northeast of India. Over the last couple of years, we have worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs in the region, ably assisted by our implementation partner, DHRIITI, led by Anirban and Nidhi. And we already have OV sitting there, who has been leading much of our work in the Northeast. So, based on what we have done, we have seen a lot of learning so far, and we have got a lot of feedback. And now we want to use those learnings to consolidate our work in specific areas. So, we have had entrepreneurs that we have supported from Nagaland, and now we want to use those learnings to work with stakeholders in the Nagaland ecosystem to create a better environment for women entrepreneurs in this state. So with that context, I also want to quickly talk about GIZ India. GIZ India, very simply put, is the development cooperation arm for the German government, in a manner of speaking. The GIZ is fully supported by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation. So much of our work focuses around pushing objectives pertaining to SDGs, and the cluster that we work for, the unit we work for rather, focuses on private sector development. So that's broadly the story. The specifics of consulting a lot of local stakeholders and getting their feedback into how we should go about creating this ecosystem that is supportive and conducive for women entrepreneurship. That's me and my little piece. I'm going to take a pause here, and I'm going to bring in Julia Karst into this conversation, because Julia has been leading Project Karan now right from day one. She's currently in Germany because of travel restrictions on account of the pandemic, but I'm pretty sure she's most excited to come back and meet all of you in person. So over to you, Julia, your 2 cents on this.
Thank you, Ullas. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. As Ullas said, my name is Julia. I lead Project Karan now. I've just come back to the project, in fact, from a longer absence of maternity leave, so it's the first time that I'm meeting you, at least virtually, hopefully personally very soon. I'm very excited to be here at this opportunity, at this launch of or signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding between our two organizations. I think Ullas has already given you a very good background of our work in the project and in India. I would like to emphasize This is a very important, our project right now is a very important initiative for the German government in India, as it is the only one which focuses on women, on gender equality through women entrepreneurship. So it receives a lot of importance and visibility and attention, I think, from the German side. Northeast, as Ulas has already mentioned, is the biggest and most important region in our project when it comes to our implementation and to our efforts. So we are extremely happy today that we found one of the key partners, in fact, in Nagaland in the region to work with in promoting our joint goal of promoting women entrepreneurship. As Ulas has already mentioned, we have TRIPARTITE, of course, who's our implementation partner, who has actually done the work in the past 2 years on the ground with the women entrepreneurs. We have collected significant experience in working firsthand with women entrepreneurs in the states, in all of the 8 states, in fact, including Nagaland. And I think that has given us a very deep and rich understanding of what are the opportunities and also the challenges that women entrepreneurs face. And that's on this basis that we want to now launch these sort of larger efforts at creating a more enabling environment and ecosystem. And that's really, I think, at the core of also GIZ's mandate as a development agency of the German government to look at larger and longer term changes in terms of creating ecosystems and creating sustainable change. So we are really excited about this opportunity. And I personally look forward to many initiatives under this MoU and together with you. And as I said before, to meet you in person, hopefully very soon. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Julia. It's always good to have you back. I also want to take a moment here to highlight that, right from day one in our conversations with Mr. Jamir and his team, we have received a very encouraging and supportive sort of tone from them. We have always seen that they've been very appreciative of the work we've done, and that was also one of the reasons why we were so successful in steering this relationship through a very uncertain time, through the pandemic, in the absence of physical interaction. So I just want to take a moment and thank Mr. Jamir and his team for accommodating us and for sharing our vision to create an entrepreneurship ecosystem in Nagaland. With that, I want to bring in Anirban for his inputs, and he has also been right beside us right from day one. In fact, he's been one step ahead of us. We've been following his lead in all these conversations. So over to you, Anirban.
Thank you, Ulas. And I think it's actually a momentous occasion because as Ulas did mention, that we've been working across the Northeast for years now, and for the last 2.5 years we've been working with the HRIITI project in the Northeast. But what is coming out today is where we are looking at how to sustain the work that we've done till now and how to take it forward with the women entrepreneurs in the region. DHRIITI has been working in the space of entrepreneurship and micro-enterprise development for the past 16 years now, and getting into a space where we are looking at actually doing advocacy work with various government agencies. Along with GIZ, we are also working with on developing women entrepreneurship, the core of women entrepreneurship for incubators across the country. So it's been a pleasure being in partnership with GIZ. We've learned a lot. We've been able to do a lot in these 2.5 years. So thank you, Ulas and Julia. And what we actually see also is that given our interaction with IDAN, Mr. Jamil and his team, we really believe that we can take it to the next level now. and taking what the initiatives that we've had, the thought processes that we had, the vision that we had for women entrepreneurship in the country and the state. That is something that we're seeing fructifying in the partnership that we've been able to bring together. So I would just like to bring in that some thoughts which were running through my mind since the morning is that, having understood the Northeast, understood Nagaland to the very little bit that I have been able to, we've seen that women have been very strong and resilient in Nagaland. They have been the core of most of the movements, most of the changes that has brought about. And they have been why they have been so important is that because they have been so resilient and strong, they have been able to take care of the families, the societies, the culture of Nagaland, all through, even despite the various ups and downs that have happened in Nagaland. So, and bringing that, so DHRIITI believes and salutes the power and resilience of women in Nagaland. And we also are strongly believe that women will be and shall be the torchbearers of the next economic revolution also, which is required in Nagaland. And that's where our entire thought process of supporting and promoting women entrepreneurship in the region, bringing that entrepreneurial and economic revolution in the state. Also, with the high levels of migration that is there, out migration which is there, specifically with the main communities in Nagaland, we believe that the custodian of this revolution has to be the women entrepreneurs. So they will be the custodian of it. So this partnership that we, between GIZ, Varana Project, DHRIITI and IDAN, we see this as just not to give support to women entrepreneurs. Yes, we will be providing that support, we will be creating that infrastructure to support women entrepreneurs. But also, very importantly, to build an ecosystem for it. And the basic premise, the basic logic for it is that it is important that we not only tell the women entrepreneurs to grow and come and capacitate them, but it is also important to tell the ecosystem, maybe the banks, the financing agencies, the various other stakeholders, to give them the reality of women entrepreneurs, what they face in it, and also tell them that you also need to make adjustments to make sure that the development of women entrepreneurship and the economy of Nagaland happens. So that with that whole perspective, this initiative has been created. And what we visualize, and I'm sure all of you will add to it, is that
Anirban, I believe your voice was muted for a bit. You'll probably have to go back 5 to 7 seconds. Okay, so what I was saying is that we believe, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we believe is that the need to build that identity for women entrepreneurs in Nagaland, the Naga women entrepreneurs identity, and that is crucial. And together, as organizations, we have to create that atmosphere to be able to do that, create that ecosystem to be able to do that. I really look forward to this partnership. We look forward to this engagement and see and look forward to the various engagements that we do to make sure that we support and promote women entrepreneurship in Nagaland. Thank you so much for being a part of this entire
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anirban. Mr. Jamir, if I could just welcome you to share a few words about the engagement.
I have to occasion, like Mr. Anirban Gupta has said, this is indeed a momentous occasion. Maybe on the surface it seems to be a small affair, but it is touching upon a very big social issue which I think everybody over here is aware of. We have the traditional Naga society where the role of the woman, the position of the woman actually is not as badly dictated as elsewhere in the world. The woman had to have a quite a accepted position, and in the traditional culture and the history, there has been, all the enterprises which is undertaken by a family or by a village, the women have been involved. But now with the coming of the new century, the new norms and the modern ways of living, and then the modern definition of enterprise and entrepreneurship, women in Nagaland have slightly lost their roles. They have been trying. There are women entrepreneurs who have come up, who are doing extremely well, but they have not been given the right place. So I was very happy to, when the DHRIITI came and we came saying that you are undertaking this project specifically for women and the GIZ is funding it. We were quite excited to hear about it, and then finally she said that they'd like to enter an MoU with IDAN to carry this forward, and we readily agreed. We look forward to this, and also with the project coming to an end, we will also have to see how the project can be sustained in the future, so that they'll give full vent to whatever DHRIITI and the GIZ has been doing. We look forward to the partnership, and then, apart from the great prospects of making the women better partners, there's nothing much we can say. In fact, actually, I just want to say one word. This morning we were talking about the Rural Development Department. The Rural Development Department, after the retirement of their former director a few years ago, has had a continuous stream only of women directors, and then there are supposed to be only women directors in the department till 2036. 2030, that's quite a long way off. And so jokingly, the men were saying that they will ask for a 1/3 reservation for men in the department. So that is the extent to which I think the women are getting empowered in the state. And I think this is happening in all other government positions. You go to any office, you see almost 50% are women. And so this is a good atmosphere in which the entrepreneurship and enterprise, the attitude of the women, we can start building, and then I think we can only look forward to a successful, culmination of this. And so we thank GIZ, we thank DHRIITI for coming in, and then we hope that we will have a very fruitful partnership. Thank you. Press that side for all in the video.
I will know from Nagaland Post.
Nagaland Post.
Next from Eastern Mirror.
Hi, I'm Nadal with this module.
Module, right?
Thank you so much. I have to take forward this next session. If you have any questions or anything that you want to know more about the project and about this partnership, you can direct to the stakeholders available in this room.
Leadership, that's it, to ask a question. Given the media. No questions, Sarah?
Okay, that will be so, last, Mr. Mueller wants to.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate if you can elaborate on
Women
this.
entrepreneurs, women enterprise.
On the project itself,
Yeah.
Project is
Yulia, do you want to take that question?
Sure, I'll start, maybe you can add some of the specifics. The project right now is funded by the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, GIZ, and India is implemented it jointly with the National Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The project started in 2018, in August 2018, so it's now full 3 years that we're active. And it will run until early 2023. So this is, I think, the basic framework of the project. Our goal is to improve the ecosystem and the framework conditions for women entrepreneurs in India. And we do that with a focus on 5 states and regions. First and foremost, Northeast, as an entire region and covering all of the Northeastern states. This is our biggest focus region, and Ulas, I would like to ask you later to add maybe some specifics of numbers and women we have supporting the region. After Northeast, next to Northeastern region, we are active in Rajasthan, Telangana, Maharashtra, and Uttar Pradesh. And in all of these regions and states, we work with women entrepreneurs both to set up new enterprises, to turn their ideas into an actual registered enterprise. And secondly, we work with existing women-led enterprises and help them to scale up to growth, basically. We have, together with our local partners, and DHRIITI being our local implementation partner in the Northeast, we have developed what we call the Her Support Model, which is a 6 to 7 month program for the women entrepreneurs, as I said, to either set up their enterprise or to scale up their existing businesses. Next to this work in the 5 regions in the States, we also run a media campaign, which goes by the name of Right Now, which is both at a national level and at also in all of the states where we work, because we believe that tackling sort of the mindset change that needs to happen around women entrepreneurship is key in creating an enabling environment for women entrepreneurs in India. So what we do in our media campaign is we portray role models, we portray the successful women entrepreneurs that we work with, of course. We try to spread their stories as widely as we can and to as wide an audience as we can in order to create that sort of mindset change that I spoke about earlier. And we've produced 4 short films, which all deal with women entrepreneur stories in different ways and facets. Some of them fiction, some of them non-fiction. They've been created by Indian filmmakers, and they're now being screened across the country, mostly both nationally and also in the implementation regions, and to engage with the audiences on the road of women entrepreneurs in India. I'll leave it at that. Maybe last we would like to add some specifics on our work in Northeast. That would be great. Thank you.
Sure. So I think I will actually take a pause because I want to first check with our media colleagues if they have any further questions taking off on your answer. And just to add to Julia's point on the numbers, overall we have more than 600 entrepreneurs who are receiving support from the program across the country. In the Northeast, it's more than 250 right now, so it is our biggest cohort. Julia already mentioned we are in 5 regions: Northeast, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Telangana.
wondering how many women would be involved with this project for Nagaland?
So for Nagaland, we will have to wait and see. We have already supported entrepreneurs from Nagaland as part of the cohort of 250 entrepreneurs. However, now we are going to invite various stakeholders from across the state who are already working in the entrepreneurship development space. They will come forward and we will do a roundtable with them. Based on that, we will shape up certain engagements and yeah, we will obviously keep you all involved and informed. We have more than 50 entrepreneurs from Nagaland that we have supported already.
Is there any specific budget that is given to individual entrepreneurs to set up? Is there any,
Sorry, I didn't catch.
is there any specific budget that is allotted to the entrepreneurs in order to set up?
So it's not about providing some sort of financial assistance. The program focuses on competency building. So the work we do over 6 to 7 months with each entrepreneur is to build their competencies in terms of business planning, financial management, abilities to build a team, so on and so forth, right? So it's not a program where we are giving out a certain seed capital to the entrepreneurs.
And if I could add, if I could add to it, also the program capacitates the women entrepreneurs to be able to access and avail the current mainstream financing mechanism. We have also, the project itself has partnered with various institutional frameworks to make sure such financing facilities are available. We are in partnership with an organization called One Day, which is a peer-to-peer funding network. We've also recently got into a partnership with the Northeast Small Finance Bank, and the most important thing that we see is that mainstreaming them into the financing segment and making the financing ecosystem also understand the needs of women entrepreneurs from Nagaland. It's not just going to be these are my parameters and you have to come in. There are realities that women entrepreneurs are facing in Nagaland, and that is something that even the financing institutions have to understand. So we are trying to build that image, and also this ecosystem partnership is what it eventually wants to try and do is bring them the financing agencies and the women entrepreneurs into that understanding, that framework of understanding. That's the whole concept. It's not just about providing funds. It's about creating that environment for them to avail and sustainably avail funds over a period of time.
Do you have specific requirements or like a standard to identify what type of women entrepreneurs you're going to assist?
You muted as well.
I couldn't hear that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Louder.
So do you have particular requirements or standards to identify, which kind of women entrepreneurs you're going to accommodate?
So, could I take that question, Vilas?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, so when we're looking at women entrepreneurship, we understand that there are women entrepreneurs who do not just one homogeneous body, right? There is only one kind of women entrepreneurs. There are various categories of women. There will be home-based entrepreneurs, there will be group enterprises, there will be individual entrepreneurs who are at a particular scale, there will be who've been able to take it to a certain level, they will, and the needs and requirements of each of them is going to vary. And the partnership and the ecosystem that we are trying to develop is trying to make sure that there is something for everyone. So when we are looking at, let's say we are looking at financing or marketing or networking as three different elements. So what is the requirement for a group-based women in entrepreneurship model? What is the requirement for a micro, nano-based or home-based model? And bringing the partnership and partners and stakeholders accordingly and capacitating the partners to also deal with that. So that's the whole thought process. There is, ideally, we would not like to select any women entrepreneurs. All women entrepreneurs should be a part and should benefit out of this. So that's the whole thought process. From the smallest and home-based women entrepreneur to the biggest one working multi-crore exports. So that's the whole thought process. If I could answer, if that answers the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to add to that, we are sector agnostic, so we don't focus on one sector. And as Anirban said that, we work with organizations, we work with entrepreneurs who have an idea and want to translate that into an enterprise. So that early in the process, as well as those who've been around for more than a year and have been doing steady revenues, but have stagnated in terms of their growth journey. So we work with them as well. Our intent, though, is to ensure that we work with organizations that can scale. Entrepreneurs who see themselves as job creators and are not satisfied to stay small, right? Now there could be a home-based enterprise, but they want to grow bigger, right? So that scalability is extremely important for us.
If there are any more questions?
I would also welcome you all to send in follow-up questions through IDAN, through OV, in case later on, as you are developing your copy, if you have any follow-up questions, we are more than happy to answer those. I understand that right now you may not have any immediate questions, but that's okay.
Thank you so much, Ullas, for letting us know and coming again more questions on this. I think we're all good at the moment. So as part of the agenda, let's move to the photo session. If we can incorporate whoever is here, we can take a session, photo session. And we can also take a session.
I think you can sit on the chair and then take the site and then the picture can be taken to
Okay.
Because I think in front of this projector, we'll just have a okay.
Welcome to St. Joseph University, where our vision is to learn, discover, create, and innovate. Our university comes with a state-of-the-art infrastructure where we offer chemistry lab, an engineering lab, life science lab, physics lab, zoology fieldwork, and many more. Come and be part of one of the leading universities in the Northeast.